tackling. That's it.
Right toward the back, sweater.
Yes, Charles Bishop, KCOH Radio, 1230 Houston, Texas. Dr. Paville's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Coach Broadway, you've been a part of championship teams before. Kind of talk about some of the elements that come together that kind of make this team special in terms of playing in this game.
Well, as I mentioned before, the first thing you need is good players. That's always the case when you win championship, and we've been fortunate enough to win championships at 3 different schools, and the one common denominator that we've had at all of those 3 different schools where we won championships is good players. And these guys are really good players, and we have a lot more good players. So that's the key element: recruiting, good evaluation, and then trying to train you guys to do things that you like to do the way you like to do them.
I know this is Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab at KCOH Radio, Houston, Texas. I know you talked about some of your special players in terms of offense to reach point. But let's go in addition to what he's able to do and excited to bring. What are some other key players on the offensive side we should keep our eyes on?
Okay, look like Houston's in the house today, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, well represented. Well, there's a couple over here. Brandon Parker, who was a Player of the Year in our conference, offensive lineman, sophomore, that's been outstanding for us, and hopefully will continue to grow and develop and end up being a great player before he leaves. And Denzel Keys, he's our go-to guy on short yardage or jump balls and 50-50 balls and back shoulder throws. He's one of those guys. And then Chris is special, on punt returns and kicking game. He's won a couple games for us and set up some big plays for us in the kicking game throughout the year. And I think he's 3 yards short of setting the record for punt return in the season. So we're extremely proud of him and what he's able to do. That's just some of our guys, but we have a lot of other guys that's contribute to this success. And anytime you have a good team, it's a team. You have good guys, and our guys are able to understand the importance of team before they become selfish. It could have been easy for Tyreek, Tony, and those boys to think more of themselves. I tell them all the time, think less of yourself, but don't think any less of yourself. So we want to put the team first.
Right here to the front, Coach.
Mark Rickman from Uprock Sports. What does playing in a game like this mean for the program as a whole, and what kind of impact can you see on recruiting and having that TV exposure?
Well, it gets us in a lot of homes. To answer the kind of impact, we won't know that until we go out and actually start recruiting. But it will put us in a lot of faces of a lot of kids that we're recruiting, and they understand that we get a lot of national exposure. For 3 hours, we come to face up university. And we get to be seen all over the country. So they can't do anything but help you. You can't buy that type of publicity. You can't buy that coverage as far as recruiting is concerned. So we're excited to get in as many homes as we can, and then follow up by getting in the homes and trying to recruit better athletes of what we have. And that's I say this all the time, our coaches say, find better than what we have. And that's the key to winning. I got to find one better than Tyreek. I got to find one better than Denzel. I want to find one better than Tony, Chris, Denzel, and Brandon. I want them all to get beat out.
Coach to your left here, Blazer Mark.
Coach Mark Gray, Heritage Sports Radio Network. If I could use a boxing analogy, they say styles make fights. On film, you guys look like you're standing in the middle of the ring, slugfest. Would you expect this to be an up-tempo, fast-paced type contest, or is it in the middle of the ring, toe-to-toe slugfest?
Well, I don't know if you follow that or not, but how we play is simple. We're going to get in the ring, and we're going to put our left foot forward, and we're going to start swinging. We're not going to blink, nor we'll move back. That's just our mentality. But they play a similar type style that we play. So you'll see 2 teams just doing a lot of the same things, and it probably going to come down to who make the fierce mistakes out there. Jay and I coached together at Florida 20 years ago, so we have some of the same philosophies as far as our football team's concerned.
All right, Coach to that.
Coach Broadway, Charles Bishop again. Is there any concern about the layoff from the last time you guys have played until now? Any concern with regards to game tempo going into tomorrow?
It's always a concern. You know, there's some pluses and some minuses for it. One of the pluses, it gave us an opportunity to get some guys healthy and gave us some more practice time. On the other hand, we hadn't played, so we got to adjust your team speed, playing speed immediately. And we've got to eliminate some of the mistakes. The thing that I'm concerned about is game conditions, condition that you're in. I hope we don't get too fatigued because we hadn't played. Game shape is different from being in shape. You know, we can be in shape, but our guys will tell you that first ball game, 8-10 plays into the first drive, man, you don't know where you're going to get your next breath from. But then the fourth game of the season, you know, it's coming to you. And that's the thing that I'm worried about right now, how long it's going to take us to get our second win going.
We've got time for 2 more questions.
I wanted to follow up with that break-in, as you said, that had a chance to get some players healthy. This is Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, KSOH Radio AM, Houston, Texas. With that, I wanted to follow up and ask about Kashawn Quick. He's made your offense really dynamic. He got hurt in the middle of the season. It looks like he's going to have a chance to play, according to the reports. Could you elaborate on that?
Yes, that's exactly right. We were rolling offensively when Quick got hurt. And, you know, but here's the thing, and I don't know if people realize it, the last 18 games, we've started 3 different freshman quarterbacks in 18 games, and we've been able to win. So that tells you a lot about our football team, you know, not one individual. But Quick can make some plays if he's healthy. And, you know, the FAM game, the game before that, he was playing really well. And then, you know, we put a freshman in there. And of course, they're not going to play like a senior. And then the year before that, man, we was up at Howard, and he was killing it. And ended up getting hurt that game and ended up missing the next 3.5 ball games. So he's missed a lot of ball games the last couple of years. But with that, he's given some young guys an opportunity to play. And again, we've started 3 true freshmen in 9 of our last 18 games, which to me is amazing. And being able to win those games says a lot about our football team and our personnel of our football team.
Our last question, Coach, comes from here.
Don Stinson with DNA Sports Talk. First of all, congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you.
Can you please speak to what it means to be in this Celebration Bowl as an HBCU, putting on a big showcase here in Atlanta, Georgia, that has been groundbreaking for a lot of civil rights and Black activists?
Well, again, we're honored to be here, to be associated with the first bowl, Celebration Bowl. When we started talking about this thing years ago, I was one of the ones trying to push our AD and our administration to vote for the bowl game, because I'd had an opportunity to have the experience of playing in bowl games as a player and then coaching later in bowl games as a coach. And it's a beautiful experience, and I bet if you talk to those guys now, the experience that they've had this week has been well worth it. I don't know if you get that in a playoff game. And the other side of that, you know, we would benefit from this experience that these guys get. They'll be thinking about this, you know, 20 years from now. You know, 1976, we played down here at the Peach Bowl versus Kentucky when I was a junior in college. So, and that was what, 40 years ago, 39 years ago? I was 7. I was just mature 7. You know, they had Art Steele's, Derrick Ramsey, and all those boys. I can remember it clearly, and that was 40 years ago, and it was cold. When I tell you it was cold, it was cold. So those experiences lived with you for a long, long, long time, and I'm excited for our guys to have been a part of this, because I've been through this before. Just for them to experience what I've experienced in my playing career and coaching career is big for me, for them.
Coach, thanks. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you guys.